Hey everyone, this is Kyle with Crux Prospecting. I wanted to give you a little peek into the workshop, all the assembly and what I go through to put each system together. I do tune and test each one. I assemble them all myself, and I just wanted to show you a little bit about it, see if I can answer some questions. I've had a lot of feedback. People want to kind of see a little bit more about the systems, get some videos, get a little better feel for them. So this is my effort to do that while we've got about 12 inches of snow on the ground, and it's really difficult for me to do any filming at the moment, at least in action, but I'll show you what I can, and I'll just take a few minutes here and let's get to it. So one of the reasons I wanted to show you guys this was because I wanted to show you how I test all my hoppers. Every single system I ship, those ones have already been tested, but I'm working on this one today. So every system I ship, I water test like this. I make sure that the waterline cover is nice and tight and it gets a good spray pattern. Some of them can be, they were a little warped when I got them from the factory, and that just doesn't fly with me. I want to have the best spray pattern possible. There are things we can do to tune that, but for now I want to just send out the best ones I can, and I've got my factory working on tweaking that. So let me click this on real quick, show you what it looks like. So this is a pretty standard pattern, I would say. It's maybe a little bit loose up here, like that's maybe could be tuned just a bit, but I'd say this one's got pretty good pressure. It's got, you know, distinct spray pattern, distinct jets. The end, the final wash is nice and clean, so you know, it's not leaking around the perimeter or anything like that. So I would call this a good water line, and if you wanted to tighten this or tune it, you can actually take this cover off. I'll show you that. Every hopper just has 6 screws like that in it, and you take those off, water cover pops off, and you can run a bead of silicone around it if you want to, or if you want to change your spray pattern, you can actually cover these with duct tape when it's dry. Just throw a piece of duct tape over one of the holes. It'll redirect that pressure to everything else. So some people want to block the top and just have water coming out the bottom, or vice versa. You can tune it however you like. I like to just run it as is. I think it's a good pattern, but I'm a little biased on that. So, all right. The next thing I wanted to show you guys was the pumps I use. So that was the 1500 that I was running for my water test. This is the one I recommend for recirculating systems, especially if you've got a hose. Like this is only like 6 inches of hose outside of the fittings. And this is the 2000. They're the same size, same form factor, but the 2000 has a little bit different engine in it and a little bit different impeller. So these are awesome, awesome pumps. Really good, like 7.5 amp hours on this, but they're really small, so they don't take up too much space. And then, of course, the reason I picked them, the main reason is they have the threaded outlet on them, versus, you know, most other bilge pumps that have this kind of press fit barb, which, you know, has a tendency to pop off, or it's very difficult to just find a hose that fits it. So you have to do some really funky things to get that to work. This thread is compatible with my polymer fittings, so that thread will fit this fitting. That's the same thread as the PVC, just MPT, and then you can run, you know, 10 feet of hose with these Camelot couplings on it and disconnect it, and you're good to go. Okay, something else I wanted to show you guys, because this isn't evident in any of the product photos or anything I have on the website. If you go into the actual instructions, you can see it, but it's not that clear, so I wanted to just touch on this real quick. So these screens, I have 2 sizes. I have a 3/8 and a 1/2 inch, and I typically run the 1/2 inch size. When I'm direct digging, I really prefer the speed of it. The 3/8 is more appropriate for a recirculating system or pre-classified, and that's fine. You know, really sandy material runs really well on the 3/8. It makes the mats run a little better, but at the end of the day, 1/2 inch really is going to be the most used, in my opinion. the main thing I wanted to show you guys is actually how this snaps into the system, because I don't think this is really evident in any of the literature or anything that's online right now. So this has 2 nubs on it that slot into those 2 holes right there, and then it's got these little feet on the bottom that interact with these little holes there. I don't know if you can see that very well, but there's no fasteners. They just drop in and snap, and that's it. So they do have a retention system, so they won't accidentally come out. You can also fully open the hopper to clean out, and the screen stays in place, so you don't have to worry about that. I also have an angle on the screen, that bottom part, so this angle doesn't hit this bottom part and pop the screen out. I actually had to change that. And then this little triangle, this little edge here, is where the bottom of the hopper interacts. So when you open this up, that's where they hit, so that supports the hopper really well. You can flip this open. Most of the weight's going to be on the pin, but I designed all of this so that the pin is the part that if you ever have a failure, it's going to be the pin. And then I provide an extra pin with each system, just in case you have a problem with that or one breaks. And if you ever do run out of pins, in the odd time that happens, I will send you another one, no questions asked. All right, well, that is all I'm going to show you guys for today. If you want to know anything else about the systems, if you have any questions about any of the features or want me to highlight anything, definitely let me know. I'm happy to throw a video together for you. I'm going to try to be a little bit more active on YouTube now. I'm kind of into the mode now where I'm just assembling systems and getting stuff shipped out, which I can handle. It's still just me, so, you know, it's busy, but it's good. I'm really enjoying this. I'm really excited to see these out in the field and get everyone's feedback. So I'm gonna get back to it. Really appreciate you guys dropping in. Again, if you have any questions, definitely feel free to ask. I'll do my best to reply. I try to reply to every question, and otherwise, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks very much.